All right, guys, welcome back to Commission Reviews. We have another in-person interview
Yes, we do.
with Chris. So I'm gonna be transparent on my interview and say he knows I was mad at him. I was not gonna interview him. I was not. Everybody knew I was mad at Chris. Did you know I was mad at you?
Yeah. But she loved me though. That's why she here.
Oh my God. Okay, so the reunion was a lot. I want to jump in that, but I want to first jump into you getting on the show. I know that you have a whole story with your family, how they had the things arranged. Now, with that being said, do you feel like you should have gone with your family? I'm just being honest.
Oh, I like that. I like that. You know what? I'm still happy about my decision to follow my own path.
Okay.
You know, I love my family. I love the traditions. You know, if it wasn't for my parents being arranged, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. So
Period.
I'm grateful for that.
Okay.
You know, but I still feel as an individual, you have to kind of write your own story.
Yes.
But
yes.
you have to be true to your roots and the same. So it's like a balance.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm happy I made the decision.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, this season has been a little bit messy. Not even that. This is the worst season. The fans are saying.
What?
I just found out today. The fans are saying this is the worst season, which I'm kind of heartbroken because it's Dallas.
No,
and all that.
D-Town.
But I'm gonna say I have to agree. Some of it, not all of it. Okay. Do you feel like that? You guys, as far as the cast, made it the way it is now? Not because people want to blame production. People want to blame everything.
Everybody want to. I think
Yes.
it's a group effort. I think it was cast, production, mainly editing as well.
Okay.
And I think the storylines they were shooting for wasn't the actual ones that it should have been. You know, as far as the connections,
Yes.
the dates. You know, because it was a lot of great moments that you guys weren't privy to. Like a lot of great moments. Sometimes they'll do those exclusive on YouTube.
Yes, they will.
You know, and some
The
of
hot
those were way better than what
Right.
they actually showed
Right.
you guys.
Right.
You know,
That's
so I
always been
think
like
I
that.
think it was a whole group effort. You know, with that as well too, and how they would casting us and whatnot.
So I did like a special recently about what was wrong with Ready to Love Dallas this season. And did you watch the older ones?
Not as much. I did binge Miami before I got in
Okay.
there because you know what I like with work I stay so
Yes,
tied up with
yes.
everything.
I understand that.
And so one of the main reasons why I did it because I'm Oprah Winfrey Network. You think it's gonna be classy?
Yes.
You know that was the biggest thing for my reputation and who I am. I didn't want any drama.
Right.
But look where it landed me. So, but yeah.
So, okay, I have to say this as far as the men. A lot of stuff happened outside of the show what made me think you guys were like clicking it all. And I said it because I went to the premiere party. Now, two different parties. I'll keep saying this, but there was two different parties. So there was divides, as you didn't say. And then with me seeing that, and then even with, him hopping on your interview, all that stuff. I'm saying, what's the tea with the guys? Is there like no unity? Is it like just because women messy too, but y'all be messy also?
The thing about it, like all the guys, we actually are cool.
Okay.
We actually have a good relationship. Now there were some things that transpired that where some of us are closer to certain ones more so.
That makes sense.
But for the most part, the guys typically would talk to each other. Okay. You know, some of the things that was shocking to me because for me, when I talk to some individuals and everything's good, and then later on it seems like it's not. Why didn't you say that when we're actually talking? You know, so I think it's one of those things to save face. But the guys are good. Like I'll talk to any of them on the phone. You know, I'll meet up with any one of them. You know, I think we're pretty solid.
So y'all watched this show at the same time as we watched the show. So I know that had to have been kind of difficult. Does it maybe make the feelings come back up? Is that why there was like some drama? Because you know what I'm saying? Because y'all, it'd be months before y'all. You know what I'm saying? That all of a sudden you see it, it's like, damn, you felt like that, bro?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. You know?
Yeah. And I think so for example, I'll tell you this. Like some of the ladies, let's say myself, Unique, Taquila, right? We like, hey, and and I think Lee and Aries, we probably were like, hey, this is what I said. Okay. This is what, it wasn't there. So we was already prepared. So it didn't matter what happened. Because you got to understand, none of us really knew each other. So we didn't owe each other anything.
Okay.
So whatever someone could say within the time we were recording, it's okay. I've already forgiven that person. But what was happening, once we were watching it, we were like, oh, you didn't say you said that. Oh, you didn't know about this. So it's like a couple just curveballs, like Tommy would say, that was hitting us. And we was like, dang. And so for some people, they keep reliving it and going back to that feeling after you already forgiven that person. You know, and so that was an interesting thing. And then a lot more details came out after the fact. And you're like, dang, you little dirty rascal, you.
I have to say this. Why is it that I feel like I knew two different Chris's? I have to
Yes.
ask. I feel like that there was two different Chris's. Why? When you first was on the show, and even when I met you, it's like, oh my God, he's just like, not saying that we all can't be different side, 'cause we can, but sweet young man, you know, all these things. And it seemed like mid with the X from on, it was like, who is that Chris?
Yeah.
And that's the narrative that's out there right now.
And I'm glad you said that, because check this out. That part with the ex, that was only 2% of that date. If you talk to Aries, which Aries want to talk to you, so you need to talk to her.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And she would tell you all the stuff that transpired with my ex. Even Lee and I had a date with my ex as well.
Okay.
So
didn't even see that.
didn't even see it. We actually played basketball together or whatever. I think I won. I think Lee won or whatever. But
She probably would.
yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing, that you guys are only seeing a snippet.
Okay.
You know, and the irony of it is, like when you think about a test, right? We're grading each other on our wrong answers. So everybody's failing the test, you know? So it's like, instead of saying, okay, well, this person got 98% of the problems correct, you know, but we're grading each other on that 2 that we missed.
Right.
You know, and that's unfortunate, but that's society. And in all the aspects of what you guys saw me, that is me. I'm human. Okay. You know, I'm a passionate individual. I'm an emotional guy. You know, and I'm happy about that.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. And I wish more people can embrace all these aspects of themselves, and not be so quick to really just put each other to the cross. You know, I mean, but hey, know who you're dealing with.
Right.
With everything. But yeah, I would say that you're right.
Okay, so with the whole thing with my panel call it the maid situation.
Yeah.
Okay, where your ex made the statement, and it's like, okay, well, so do you not want an independent woman? I'm asking you this because, I mean, I'm independent and I'm old school, but at the same time, you was like on that line. I'm old school where my parents were away, where my mother did do things, fixed things that a lot of them don't do today. But at the same time, I grew up in this, era as well. So I'm an independent woman. So please break that down.
You know what? You asked some good questions. You know what? This woman got some questions for me today that I wasn't even ready for, but I'm ready for. So with the whole maid situation, I don't think my ex favored Jessica at all from ground zero.
Okay.
The way she was with Lee and the way she was with Aries, totally different. In actuality, she was supposed to meet Kat. So those are my 3 Chris's angels that she was supposed to meet.
Okay.
And what I feel about as far as that, for example, my sister that's in Nigeria right now, when she came, I had to furnish her with a vehicle. I had to give her some pocket change to actually spend.
Okay.
All of those things. So the first thing she did, she like, Christopher, let me go prepare a meal for you. She went and cooked for me. Okay. You know, the women in my family, in my household, they don't have to. I don't believe in them touching trash or really paying bills like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I'm supposed to protect and provide.
Okay.
Now, in the irony of it, if you look at those 3 women I talked about before, and let's even throw Taquila in there. You know, let's talk about Lee, Aries, and Kat. They're all bosses. They all have successful businesses.
Yes.
Like they go hard.
Okay.
And they are not a pushover. So how can I have 3 connections that are bosses, you know, and they love me just like I love them, you know? So I think it's a narrative that someone wants to push because I am Nigerian. You know, I think Kat was like, they picked the wrong Nigerian to act like he wants to control a woman.
I remember that.
You know, because I don't. I believe in freedom. You know, and one of the reasons why I'm adamant about how I feel is because I lived the wrong way in the past, speaking with my ex, right? So as an engineer before this, I was always working.
Okay.
So I thought if I'm paying money, I'm paying bills, I'm taking her this, everything was good, but I was removed emotionally because I wasn't there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So like now, moving forward, I got to have my woman. You know, so if her job conflicts with us being together, we got to make some adjustments. If mine's conflict, we got to make some adjustments too.
I like you said
that.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Even if I have to go and if she travels, right? Let's say she does this or fitness. Let's say Lee.
Okay.
You know, if he has to go do something in Atlanta or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna go there with her.
Okay.
So I put
Compromise. Okay.
things in place where I have an amazing assistant. That was the reason I was able to film this show, because I put things in place, so I can have that time, because we can have all the money in the world, all these things in the world, but if you don't
The
have that
time.
intimacy and that time
Yes.
together,
I agree.
what is the purpose of this?
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? And that's why I feel how I feel. I can be in a mansion or I can be homeless, I'm gonna still smile. That's just my mindset. And so yeah, I don't want to slave.
Well, let's do this then.
Yeah, let's
We
do
on
it.
the wave.
Let's
The
do it.
whole soft thing that irritated me.
Tell me why.
Because look, as a woman, I'm hard. I go very hard. I don't hold back. I would drag your entire cast, and well, not all of y'all, but if I have to, and anybody else who say something about me. At the same time, my daddy always taught me, and I gotta say this on live. My dad did tell me that let a man be a man. These things was in my head since I was a little girl.
It's
because
embedded.
because my dad was there to teach me that. Not
Yes.
everybody has that experience.
Yes, that's so true.
So what I'm saying at the same time, I'm still gonna go hard in the paint. It has to be like my girl says, Abby said, a certain man to bring that out of me.
Correct.
So when you use the terminology, I'm pretty sure we missed some stuff. I know we did. That came out really bad. Do you understand why a lot of women like myself
Yes.
did not like that word?
Yes, but you know what? You answered what you just said when you said your dad told you got to be softer sometimes, or however you stated it just now. So I love a boss woman. Like I say, those three women. My sister was a boss. My mom was a boss. And again, and I stand on this. The way you treat the people outside the household has to be different than how you treat your partner in the house. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So, like with me, before engineers, a good old boy industry. It's not a lot of people look like us. So I'm going down there and I'm experiencing this. So when I come home, I don't want to be battling at the house. Okay. Same with my woman. My woman, the CEO, she's doing this, having these board meetings, whatever the case may be, and come home. Yes. This is our bubble. This is our safe place. Let's like be softer with each other. Okay. Because if I say, Carmise, you didn't even pick up the phone. And I say, Carmise, I tried to call you. I was trying to get a hold of you. Is everything okay? Notice I'm asking you two different things, but the manner in which I'm saying
and the tone,
and the tone,
right?
You can listen more as softer tone than loud noises.
I get that.
So that's part of it. It's almost like it's not what you say; it's how you say it.
But if your woman is hard and she may be like, I'm not in the mood or whatever. Can you deal with that? It's not gonna always be soft. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna always be a soft situation.
You ain't met my sister. You leave my pride and joy.
Okay. Okay. I'm saying as far as your woman, she's not gonna always be soft. Is what I'm trying to say.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay. It's kind of like when they talk about the whole relationship percentage of 50-50 all this other time. Sometimes I might have to be at 100, you at 0. Okay. You at 20, I'm at 80, or vice versa. You have to understand your partner, and it does take time. It does take a certain type of individual to bring that out of you. And this process is such a short time, but what I'm constantly seeing within this process, it started making me understand, okay, that's a bigger portion of who you are. Yes. It's not all of who you are, right? But that's a big portion. I'm just going to communicate that. And I think a lot of times we're all seeking to be heard and not listen, where you have to do both. It's
a difficult line. It's a difficult line. I have to admit. But this season for you, like before we even get to the whole Jessica thing, did you think do you feel like you put too many eggs in one? Because the connection that you had, we didn't really see. We saw a little bit, like with the Lee, and I wish we could have. I remember when I saw you sit down with Lee, I was like, I wanted to see that explored more. Yeah. Even before everything happened, I was like, I wish you would explored, or we could have saw. I don't know.
More of that, right? Yeah.
So, in your opinion, do you feel like you put too much in Jessica?
I feel that they showed me putting too much in Jessica. They didn't show all of it. Right. And I think it was so set up to who they wanted people to be with. And it's like, all right, let's keep pushing them and showing them, this is a crowd favorite, this is that, and that's the biggest part. Because you got to think about it right now. Right after the show, these women, we talk to each other every single day. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, there was a solid friendship there initially that wasn't shown. And that's the unfortunate thing. So now everyone's like, why is this person always with this girl, or this girl's always with this guy? There were other connections that was just as strong, if not even stronger. Myself and Jessica actually ended that a lot earlier than what you guys saw. But they kept continuing that narrative, and I would say neither one of us wanted to continue. I mean, I can speak for myself,
Right.
And so it's a kind of irritation and a frustration, because in real life we're so preventative of those things, right? Because we can just ghosting is real. We can just, hey, shut it down. You ain't got to call him. You ain't got to talk to him. You ain't got to see him. But when you're scheduled to go somewhere and then you see this individual, and you're like, okay, Johnny Appleseed, I told you.
And on the TV show, it's even more awkward.
Yes.
So for you, what was the narrative they're trying to build for you? Because even before the incident, you have the whole combative word now, and the whole people asking you questions. All y'all, I'm like, what is going on this season, bro? I don't get it. So like what? Okay, and hold the. Let me slow down. With the whole thing, you're not owning up to it. Now I have to ask. I can't say you said it, but I was like, he said it. Why would the other guy say this word?
You know what's so crazy? Everybody think exactly how you think. So let's break it down. All right. Throughout the whole thing, before the blow up, I said we have combative moments. We had combative situations. I didn't call her combative. The very first time I called her combative was at that table. The second time was when I did what's called a pickup. You probably heard of that.
Okay.
And that was before the reunion. They said, hey, Chris, come on down, do a re-record.
Okay.
And I was like, well, yeah, Jessica is combative. They pulled that and played it like it was real time.
I know about that.
Yes, that clip was done almost the week or two before the reunion.
Okay.
So at that point, that's why I was like, and that's why the ladies were so adamant that Chris didn't say that. Chris said he had combative moments, but he didn't call it that. And at the end of the day, it's a word. And if I perceive you that way, that's my perception. And then too, I didn't know that was a trigger word for her because that's something from her past. Now, the individual that communicated at the elimination, he knew that. So you chose to say that word knowing that it was going to trigger her. That was wrong
as well.
That was kind of a setup. That wasn't cool. So that's where, and all of the guys felt that type of energy, whether they said that word, and some of them did actually say the word. I'm going to let them, whether they want to say it or not, that's on them. So that's why, if you go back and look, it was, Q might have said it's a collective decision, it's a group decision.
I think, one of them
and then it was something else. Yeah, Mari said, I chose is that word.
Yes.
So there are context clues in there. People turn an eye to them because they want to feel this way. It's been a lot of people that approach me and they get mad and we're talking. They're like, oh, well, I love you, Chris. It's just this and that, because I feel if someone doesn't like me or doesn't like you, they lack an understanding of us. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So,
but the word combative, I don't like that word myself.
Okay. I
have to admit that it's not a trigger because I never had a traumatic experience. But as a black woman, those are the words what's in America, like combative, argumentative, loud. She's gonna react. Just a lot of different things that's not necessarily true, and it's just unfortunate. So that word was a trigger for a lot of black women.
And that's something that I'm not privy to.
I didn't think you were.
But now when you tell me that, that's not a word I would use towards you, because I have to give you that respect. You know what I'm saying? So culturally, is so different. So, and that's why I always seek to understand and like, tell me what's your love language, or what's your boiling point? What's your non-negotiables? What are these things? And that's now it's up to me to treat you in a manner which you want to be treated. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so those are the things like I'm like, why is this word such a major word?
Yeah, I thought about it later, and after my live, and I said, just like Maud is one of my mentees, and a lot of time we'll talk, and she has no idea.
What's up, Maud? Love you, mama.
She has no idea that it's said or something, and I'll have to tell her behind the scenes, and she was like, I didn't even know y'all don't like da-da-da. So we have these similar conversations a lot with her behind the scenes, I get it. I thought about it later. But the word is negative. It is. But I do feel like that they were just coming for you. I called this show the Janelle Show, and I still will continue to call this show a Janelle Show. And I felt like when she led the pack, I was like, why wasn't Jessica saying that? I think that's your best friend.
And it was something,
didn't make any sense.
I was talking to ladies like, okay, imagine if I'm like, hey, I'm one of the people that said, or me owning up, and let's say all three guys said it, but I was like, yeah, I said it, right? Now we're going to have a combative moment within that space. So why would I choose to go to war with women on, because I don't do that. I don't think a man should be fighting with a woman at all. You can have a discussion, heated, because it boils down to, okay, now this woman needs to go talk to my sister or my girlfriend or fiance. This man needs to go talk to my brother, my husband, or whatever, and resolve it. And that's the best way, because if I go to your man and like I'm like, hey, this is what's going on, blah 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 blah, and then we have a disagreement,
Right.
it boiled down, can you beat me up though? You know, and I hate to go that route.
I do too sometimes.
You know
but
what I'm saying?
but you had an attitude with your tone. The way you are now, you are such a chill individual. But at that tone, at that moment, you was not.
I wasn't.
You was
I was
very
not.
very irritating.
You talking about at the table?
Yeah. No,
Oh yeah.
When Janelle started questioning you about, did you?
Oh no, I just want, because I made up my mind that I'm not gonna deal with them at the reunion.
Okay.
You know, I mean at the getaway.
Right.
So, because really that was one of the best times, because if you look on my page, it was a picture I posted. I think it was me and Lee, Kat, Aries, Phil. I had moments with Sierra.
I think I saw that. I did see it.
Like, we had some beautiful moments.
I did saw that.
So that's where my energy was the whole time. So
Okay.
anything that was negative, I ain't got time for it. I just ain't got nothing to say.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Even when we talked about, when her and Kat had the blow up,
Yes.
that was because they were talking about gender roles.
Yes,
and
I
remember
remember.
they said when I was like, women are emotional, something with leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me dive into that.
Mm-hmm.
What I said was, as far as the equality, men cannot bear children.
Okay.
So we're not equal in that aspect. As far as women, physically, a woman does not need to go to war, in my opinion. So I feel like if a man come in here right now with AR-15, as men, we have to defend y'all, whether how we feel about you guys at all. Because in my mind, God is a black woman. I always say that, and I feel that way. So we have to protect y'all in that aspect. So it wasn't nothing with financial. It wasn't nothing as far as any of that stuff. I was thinking in the physical aspect. Y'all create life. Yeah, we put seeds in y'all, but y'all create life. Like,
But you also know
amazing.
we protect and serve as well.
I understand that. I understand that. I'm not taking nothing away from y'all.
Because black women don't always have that luxury to have much to protect them. So we have
that's a deeper issue. Why not then? You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's not a choice.
That's what I'm saying.
Always.
So holistically, why aren't we all protecting all of our black women and all our women, period? So that's when I said what I said. Like, regardless of how I feel about you, the fact that you're a woman, I was raised by women.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like that. And that's where the misconception came up on that part. And then they was talking about as far as leadership. I feel women are very analytical. You guys have a discernment, right? Men, we typically make quicker decisions. So there are more men in leadership just for the quicker decision. Not saying it's the best decision, not saying all these other things. So those are the conversations I was having.
Hold on. You said there's more men in leadership?
It was more men in leadership.
When was this?
I'm talking about statistically.
Now?
Statistically, I'm saying yes, even now.
No, it's not.
Well,
women are more empowered than women have ever been.
I agree with that.
And some more than men. Let me
talk about globally.
Okay.
I'm talking about globally. I'm not talking about the U.S. U.S. is a fraction compared to globally.
Okay.
So, and that's another thing that when I communicate, I'm talking from a man that's from Africa.
Okay.
So I'm not saying just here. I'm saying globally, because the speediness of quickness. Like if I say, hey, what you want to eat? What's your first thing you gonna say?
Chicken and vegetables.
Well, you're a unicorn. She's a unicorn right now, because she is a unicorn. Yes.
I know exactly what I want to eat.
They don't make women like this at all.
They don't.
so that's all I was talking about, and I think it just went left with that part.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes some things ain't worth even explaining.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So because people gonna run with whatever they want to run with.
So your connections, I know, were Lee, and we didn't get to see that. Who else were your connections besides Jessica Lee? Who else were your connections? Cat with my connection.
From the mixer, Taquila and I had a connection. Me and Unique had a really deep conversation.
Okay.
So I would say those 5, but my primary was those 3, Cat, Lee, and Aries.
If Kat would have came earlier, do you think that she would have been the one, y'all would have got to the end, the two of you?
Man, Kat would have shook some things up.
I really believe that.
She would have shook some things up, because at the lounge, all the guys was excited about Kat. Like,
yes, they were. Oh my God.
I'm talking about, I gassed up. Like, man, she was a tall glass of water. Like, like, her confidence is on 10.
Right.
And so that, she would have shook some things up. I don't know what would have happened, but she definitely would have.
Okay.
Aries and myself, I think we were kind of lazy because we kind of knew of each other in the past. You know, so
Dallas is so small, man.
it is. It is. She was the only person I knew prior till.
Okay.
Lee, later on, I found out that I knew some of her family.
Okay,
You know,
gotcha.
her brother, and I went in school with her sister
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
Okay.
So that was that. Everyone else, I really didn't know.
You didn't know them?
I didn't know.
Okay.
At all. Red, my brother knew him or something like that. But
Already
other than
know
that,
everybody.
yeah, I didn't know him.
Okay.
I didn't know who he was.
And people knew Red, and they told me about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
my sister's ex-husband went to school with him. So did my cousin.
If
was
you're
wow.
Greek, somebody's gonna know you. And Dallas is small.
Yes, it is very
You know,
super small,
so
super small.
somebody's gonna know you. And you know, that's just what it is. It's just whatever. If that makes you feel good, then let it make you feel good. You know.
He was doing too
So.
much. I'm sorry. So as far as let's go ahead and cause I want to get to the reunion a little bit. I know we had a little bit of it. The whole thing with you and Jessica, the whole dinner, all that stuff, the goodbye, da da da. It seemed like you both had an attitude. Y'all got there. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
We missed a whole bunch of crap.
A whole bunch.
A bunch. I did get mad at your response. I
Yes.
said, "Why would we talk to a woman like that?" I said, "This is what I
Yes.
said to my son. My son watched it with me. He had a bunch of opinions. I said, I would not want my child to do that because she gonna look good no matter what you do.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
That's
as
true.
As a mother
You're absolutely right.
or a
You're
sister, I
absolutely
would have
right.
told my homeboy that.
Yeah.
So for you, I know we missed a chunk. And she just sat there quietly. I said something had to been said for him to blow up like that, and for you to move your hand, all the movement. I said
All the
bro,
movement.
Yes, I dissected the scene because I know when you're animated and you move
Yeah.
your body, it's passion, it's anger, it's hurt. There's a lot of things involved. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was like, for her to be sitting back so chill and just be like, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was a lot of hurt and pain in that moment. It really was, and a lot of things that led up to it, like a lot of microaggression type stuff. She's a very smart and intelligent and tactful woman. She really is. I commend her on that. You know, it's like everybody has powers, so how are you gonna use them for good or evil? You know, not saying she's an evil person,
Right. I know what you're
but
saying.
and she's not here really to defend herself, so I can't really just go in like that
Right.
because you know how I am about women. And that moment, that was something that I did apologize instantly. You know, the owner of the restaurant came outside and hugged me. She was emotional and said, "You did right. But she said that, but I think because of all the other stuff that transpired,
Right.
you know, the behavior on both sides, she kind of created her own conclusion on what's been going on. You know. And that's just because, you know, enough is enough sometimes.
Okay.
You know, and I think
So it was a build up, right?
It was a huge build up, and there
Okay.
was some things
That's
that was
right
going
about
on
that.
at that moment. You know, and in that way, I actually, it's so crazy because they made it seem like that happened because she said I wasn't ready to love. All that happened before. I didn't want to be there no more. So I'm done.
Okay.
You know, so everything happened before. And at the end of it, then she said, "Okay, you're not ready to love." I said, "All right, cool." And I left. That was that. So they did it backwards.
So they showed
Yeah.
it, but all this stuff happened before that.
Way
Because
before.
y'all hadn't seen each other, so that buildup was there. So boom, and then they.
Yeah. Apologize, everything. And it was just, and then even when I was like, "Hey, you're not my person," because even in the moment, I don't know if they praised you, like, why didn't we work out or something? It was like a question of why didn't we?
Okay.
And I was like, well, like I told you, you know, you're not my person, type stuff, right? She's not a horrible person. She's just not for me, you know. And I just feel like the way someone is with everybody else, you can be like that with me if you're not happy with me. So it's a lot of things I've seen on and off camera that was different for me. Some people might like it.
Right.
Some people might be okay with it, might turn them on. But for me, no, I don't operate like that.
It's like all those select girls are coming for you. Because it's called the Mean Girls. You got, I'm sorry, Sierra. You got Sierra,
Yeah.
Janelle, and Jessica.
I don't think Sierra ever came for me.
Yeah, but
it was just those
that's
two.
the-
But
she's putting it now. She is now. She's kind of how she talked about Taquila recently. So she's kind of putting that category now.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were kind of not necessarily coming for you, or mostly with Janelle, but still they all kind of was like on the side, like in school.
Yeah.
At the table. You know.
Now you got to
I was like,
understand
wow.
this too, because rejection is real. You know, and a lot of people can't handle that. You know, so it was a moment even with Janelle where I'm pretty sure she probably felt that way too. But I'm the kind of guy, if I'm talking to your friend, I'm not gonna talk to you. You know,
Yes, I
I'm gonna keep
like
it
that.
real, you
No,
know.
I like
And
that.
so that was a form of rejection on her end,
Mm.
with that. And I'm thinking everything is cool, and that's why I said the statement. We can agree not to be with each other. Let's not keep bashing each other. I don't know if
Yes.
they. I think they aired that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
I said we let's not continue to be bashing each other when we're not around and all the other stuff. You know. And now I will say this: a lot of stuff really didn't get back to me until maybe after. But every single thing that was in the lounge got back to her. Every single thing.
Wow. So you missed some
You
stuff,
know.
but she knew everything.
Oh,
That's
the
interesting.
works, the works.
That's
You
interesting.
know.
The messiness.
Yeah, and I got that from someone that said, yeah, he got so mad when I
He
said
did.
that.
So him
But
jumping in because I feel like he interrupted your
yeah,
interview.
he
I'm
did.
sorry, he did.
Yeah,
So like you were being pretty chill. He was being a lot of extra. He was.
yeah,
You said a little bit. You didn't like when he called you. What he called you, boy? Something.
yeah. As a man, you know,
Oh,
regardless,
trust me,
you
I
don't,
my dad couldn't stand that
you
word.
can't do
He
that. You
couldn't
can't
stand
call
it.
a black man boy.
You cannot.
You
Or
can't
one
do
black woman
that.
girl.
Or black woman girl.
Yes.
You can't
Yes.
do that. So if you're upset, you want to talk. Let's talk about it. Don't go that low because you and I are not built the same. If we go to that magnitude, we're gonna have to cut the cameras off. Let's sign a waiver
Right.
at this point. You know,
100%.
as a man, you know, I'm not gonna disrespect you like that. I'm not gonna, you know, me saying Messy Moria because I heard it on YouTube, which is very catchy.
It is. I didn't
And
say
very
it. I wish I
factual
had. I didn't say it.
or whatever. That's my thing, and that's why. But I was happy he came on because I'm like, hey, come on, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna say anything behind someone's back.
Right.
I'd rather it be right there in the moment,
Gotcha.
you know, and let's have that conversation, you know. And so to this day, if he want to talk, we can talk. You know, I mean,
But what was the motivation? Was it because trying to protect Jessica from you? What was the, he had
it
so much
was.
animosity when he came on that live. He did.
Man, I don't know. A lot of people said he was envious and jealous or whatever. I don't know, but I do know. You know, Jessica and I had a connection. He liked Jessica. He did like Aries, but Aries and I had a connection as well. So I don't know. I don't even know.
That's interesting.
Cause nobody does that as at our age right now. Oh,
No,
somebody
everybody
like
thought
you.
that was crazy when he came on there, and I
Yeah,
was like, "What is that?" I
yeah,
mean, I even got in a chat and said, "This is no longer an interview."
yeah.
I would have taken him off. I said, "It's no longer Chris's interview." Is what I said. I just,
Yeah.
as a blogger, I just was like, I just,
Yeah, I mean, and everything happened for a reason. You know, I'm glad it happened. So it's a coaching moment, it's a learning moment.
Right,
I think the
right.
thing with
I get
Jessica and
that.
I is bigger than Jessica and I. You know, I think
It
it's
is.
something that we all need to look ourselves in the mirror and just kind of ask ourselves these questions. You know, and that's why I was open to having an interview with you to talk about it. You know, not heavily, but just the,
Right,
the
right.
concept of it, of how all this stuff transpired, these signs. You know, because there's so much division in our culture. You
It
know,
is.
and I would say in the black community, especially here, Africans, Nigerian, we ain't got this.
Really,
It's
it's
different.
just different.
Oh, it's so different.
I agree
Our
with that.
people.
We do too much. We really do.
Yeah, I just think here, black Americans are ignorant to their value and their power that they have and the unity, what they can do when they're unified. I think we talk about it, but it's too much division. Like when they'll say, black men need to protect black women, black women need to protect black men. How about we just protect each other?
Well,
You see what I'm saying?
the division with us black
But
women
that's
is
deep.
horrible too. Though.
That's deep though, you know. And so it's so sad that the chaos and drama is what's so attractive nowadays,
It
especially
is.
on TV.
It
You know,
is. Lord have mercy.
and I'm like, man, I get it, but now, okay, if we're gonna have this chaos, now let's see the resolution. You see what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that too.
Now let's go to that
Yes.
part. All right, how do we resolve this
Solve
situation
yes.
right now?
And that's not really, that's another thing I was talking about last night. That's not a solution to any of this chaos. So, like for instance, your unity. You and T, I love T.
Yeah.
So now they're focused on T for this next part. We already know the situation. How do you sit back watching that? And I know that's your friend, and y'all were on the cast, and you went through your own stuff too. Sitting back watching it, how in the world do you like, man? Because they already in the comments. They already
Yeah.
talking about it. It hadn't even aired completely yet.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about
Man,
that?
let me tell y'all about Taquila.
And I love me some tea.
Taquila is probably the most loving individual on that cast.
She is.
Taquila got me beat as far as being emotional. Taquila really does care and want to be everyone's friend, right? And I hate when people prey on that because they know Taquila can go off like that in a heartbeat. But she is so kind and she's so loyal. She's loyal to a fault, you know. And that's the thing. I'll be like, hey, mama, just don't, you know, it's okay. Don't worry about it, you know. Phil is my friend also. But the way that their situation, I've heard multiple sides, so I don't know exactly what happened.
Gotcha.
You know, if this person's completely, well, it's their perspective, so it's true to them.
Yes.
It's true to them.
Difficult position
versus,
to be in.
yeah, you know. But Taquila, she's a sweetheart, and I just want to make sure that she's okay mentally with all of this stuff. Yes. That's my biggest concern.
Yes.
With her, because she's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? She is a fighter, and I would say, and that's why her and Habibi had clicked, because both of them are no nonsense type individuals. And they're both gonna do what they want to do, you know, and be unapologetic about it,
right?
In a sense, right? So yeah. But she's a sweetheart, you know. I always want to make sure she's in a good mental state.
Oh, I love that.
You know, because people attack, you
Yes.
know, and bullies will attack something that they feel is weaker.
But she's
but she's not
at all.
She's
not.
Or those triggers, because even at the reunion when she went off,
yeah,
I heard
people
was saying stuff, poking at her, and it was so upsetting. Like, why are you doing this to this woman?
God,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
that's so hard to hear.
What's the point? But now they seeing her, Taquila, blowing up, but not knowing what happened to lead up to that moment.
Oh, we know.
You know what I'm saying? So
as an audience, we know. The people who watch it, we know, and I know from my experiences, I know. Been in the position that she's been in, where people have come at me and tried it. In my younger days, now blow up. Older, it take a little bit. Exactly. It take a little bit.
It take a lot more.
But when I was younger, I was immediately like that. Man,
had a short fuse.
Oh my God. So I get it. I look at her and I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. I feel it.
Yeah, but she gonna be good. She got good people on her side. Like yourself, myself, a couple people. So she gonna be okay.
Okay, for you, what takeaway will you have for this show, the dating in your real life? Even though it was a lot of chaos things going on, it's still a dating experience.
Yes. So
what do you take from that in your real life now? What's your takeaways?
Man, I feel like I'm almost an expert dater right now. I think a lot of the cast think that, you know.
I think so.
Now you ask those questions early. The questions you would ask months down the line, 6 months down the line. Nah, you need to ask them now.
Right, ASAP.
You need to know what's going on now. And I would say when you're dating, spend time with that person.
Okay.
Because if let's say we're dating, right? And I only see you once a week, once a month.
Okay.
We're both getting our best versions.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So I need to see you when you driving in the traffic bad.
Yo, Lord have mercy. You don't want to see that.
Yeah. I need to know.
But I get what you said. That makes sense.
I need to know that, and then really learn.
And their work.
Yeah.
Tired.
Learn the woman, and then also understand the visions. You know what I'm saying? I think like, not to talk about this, but we'll get on it. Like Aries and Phil situation.
Okay.
Aries need to know the vision.
Okay.
It's not necessarily his income, his finances, right? You know, so
her future.
So I respect that. You know, so
Same
I think
here.
This right here, the intentionality was one of the words that we use, and that's so important.
Okay.
You know, and the full transparency, and then also digging deeper on what's those insecurities. What are those things that are triggers? What are those whatever? I think, like, for example, the first emotional thing that they say, oh, he's emotional because I was crying over my mom, right? And so that didn't make me feel no type of way. That's my mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I could be 80 years old, and if I want to cry about my mom, I'm going to cry about my mom.
100%.
That's just what it is.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, ain't nobody finna play with me.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day. At the end of the day, so I'm secure in that because I had to, and I think it was someone I was talking, like I had to learn how to work it. You know, because yes, I'm extremely savage, I'm extremely emotional as well. Then that's what I'm sensitive. I'm a Cancer.
I am
passionate.
too.
You know,
Cancer.
I'm passionate.
July the 5th,
you know,
baby.
July 3rd. Okay.
What?
Okay.
That's why I can't.
It's my mom's birthday.
That's why we.
That's why we
my
miss.
nerves.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So I think that's important, and that's a balance.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's a balance to that, and understanding it. You know, it's like and I know I talked to a couple ladies like that, even yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're an attractive woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first walk in the room, it's already preconceived notions about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now people start talking to you like, oh, okay, I like her.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's always a moment of where you can make someone else a little insecure, or you make someone else cautious, or like intimidated, whatever the case may be, or they want to just come be your friend.
Okay.
So you get all of that.
Yes.
So you gotta decipher which way it is.
I like that how you put that. That's actually very, very true. Because I am attractive. Yes, you're right. No, but I mean, I'm older now. I'm older than a lot of y'all. So to me, I move a little different than when I was younger. That's just something that came with time. It'll come with time with y'all as well.
Yeah.
So being out here dating in Dallas, do you look at it like Dallas is difficult? I mean, I can say that. I've asked each one of you guys that because you're in Dallas.
Yeah, it's difficult for women. I think it's difficult for y'all.
Okay.
For the man, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. And then this show, you got to think about how they cast. They cast a lot based on availability too. You know.
Okay.
So you might find individuals on shows that might not have a pot to piss in, but they got a lot of time to be on the show
because they ain't nowhere else to go.
Yeah, ain't nowhere else to go.
Jesus.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
So
though.
you will see
it's
a lot
truth.
of like business owners, gym entrepreneurs, stylists, models, actors. Now that I know that, a lot of different things that have flexible time. So in the real world, you're dating people that got to go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're dating people that got to go to work. You know, so that's where you have to be strategic on like the time. Like how can let me get your schedule. What's your schedule look like? You know, and I know for me, I'm very spontaneous, and I'm like, hey, well, you got an hour. Let's go do this real quick. You know, and it's like even with the girls, like we hang out, and I'm like, hey, what y'all got going on? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, I got tickets to his. I got this to there. I've already made appointments to this right here. Let's go get something to eat. You got 30 minutes. You got whatever. You know, and as a man, it's on us to schedule those things, to do that. You know, it's cool when women do it sometimes, but for me, I just like to be in charge of like organizing stuff, and if it work, cool. If it don't, that's fine. Or do you have any suggestions? I'm gonna first give you my intentions.
Okay.
You know, and then see if it fits in your schedule.
Okay.
On that.
See, that to me is a new thing as far as me hearing that, especially in America. A lot of men will say, "Well, you don't really hear that."
Yeah,
I'm not trying to drag
American
men.
man
I'm not
kinda
going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're expecting the women to
Mm.
do it, or if they do it, it's going to be half-ass.
Yeah.
To be honest. So to hear you say that is very interesting.
Yeah, you know, I mean, heck, you see my garage. I got scooters and bikes and everything.
Yes,
we gonna have a good time.
yes.
We gonna go shoot some bow and arrows after
it's
this
nice
interview.
here,
You
y'all
know?
ain't gonna lie. It's nice here. I can live here and just chill.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so nice.
You know, and that's just what it is. And like, and that's why with my friends, man, I'm gonna make sure they good.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, I would say dating is difficult for women in Dallas, for the men, because y'all outnumber us. You know, and if you're a decent man and all your bills are paid, you can date.
Okay.
You can definitely date.
Wow.
You know,
This is so interesting.
Yeah, you can. You
it's
have
true.
your pick of the litter. You have your pick of the
Unfortunately.
litter when it comes to dating, especially in Dallas. Dallas, we got some beautiful women. They look good in Texas, like for real.
Okay, then why you on a dating show then? Why
Good
you on...
question. So it was because my brother and my little girl. So the reason why, like they had one of the questions was like, okay, why come you're single or whatever the case? All of us always get there, right? And kind of what I shared with you as far as when I was working, I was always gone.
Yes,
so like now I
yes.
put things in place and I'm where I want to be financially, then I can have the luxury of dating.
Okay.
You know, and I always say if you broke, you don't need to be dating. And if you're a woman that don't take care of yourself, you don't need to be dating.
Come on now.
You know,
Preaching.
dating ain't cheap.
It ain't. On both sides.
On both
Yes,
sides.
I agree.
Y'all makeup, y'all hair, y'all all these different things. So it's not cheap. And so, but still within that, you can get creative on dates. You know, and like you can have picnics, you can go walks, you can go different things, you know, price line, however. You can make it work. However you want to do it, you can make it work.
It's true.
You know, so I think it just depends on how much effort you want to put into it.
Okay.
You know, to dating. So after talking to my brother and my little girl, and they were like, yeah, you should do it. You know, maybe you go ahead and find. Because I was like, I ain't about to find no reality show. Like, nah. But I see that you can.
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Who knew you're gonna be a topic of every panel this season? I done got to it with my girl Stacy. All of us and got into debates over it. I'm like, it was good. I love a good debate though.
Yeah, I
but
do.
It was good discussions.
Yeah.
We had a discussion about a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel like at home? How did your family and friends feel watching it? And even though you're watching it and seeing people do commentary, how was it? The phone calls, like,
oh
Chris,
man.
what happened?
So
I bet the phone
so
blowing
the cool part
up.
about it, my family, they know me.
Okay.
So it's like you can't shake that. Like my clique, the people. If you ask the girls, like even for my 40th birthday party, the people I had in there, they are solid.
Okay,
like
that's good.
It's on a whole nother level, with them. And so they'll get defensive on some people and all the other stuff too. I like, nah, it's all good, And I think that's very important because people are doing reality shows. You need support.
You do.
I think all of us need to go sit on somebody's couch. All of
agree.
us need to get some therapy behind it because it's a mind F. It really is. And that, just like what I said, it was like, Chris, you don't even cuss. I don't.
It just seems kind of like,
that's not even me.
Say that.
But I didn't cuss. I didn't call her out her name. I cussed at her.
The word was rough. The word was rough.
The word and the energy was rough.
Yes, the word F is like for us. Just I don't know. And whenever my dad would say the F word,
said freedom fighter.
You know what? If my dad said the word, if my dad said the F word in anger, then we was like, it's a rap.
It's a rap.
Yes,
it's a rap.
It was a tall system. So yeah, if a black man says the word F, and I told you it was the animation for me. It's a body movement.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, oh, what's the problem? I need to get up. I mean, I'm the type of thing that like, oh, I need to get up. Could you move closer toward me? What's the?
We go pop lock with you. I used to dance back.
You gonna get popped all right
and get locked up.
I'm so dumb. Oh my God. So I know you cannot say too much, but you said what needed to be said. The reunion. Yeah. Now, how did you feel about how you portrayed? I mean, I know not much was shown.
They probably show it this time.
They're gonna show it this time.
Yeah, they're gonna show it this time. I was disappointed because they didn't talk about my connections as much.
They did not. They most talked about you
different things, and I was disappointed in that because. And I'm always excited to see my connections. Always.
Yes.
Hands down.
We all want to see that stuff too.
And I'm like, man, this is about love. Show love. Whether it's love and relationship and the connection. Show that aspect of it. It doesn't have to be so much drama, violence. That's the part. So with the reunion, I love what everybody had on. Majority of the folks was very, very stunning. It looked like like at a fashion show. Oh my God. Yes, yes. It was some funny moments. That reunion was hilarious. One of my favorite moments was like Habibi just playing the saxophone out of nowhere.
Bro, that drove me insane. I was like, why is Habibi?
Well, he good though. I was like,
he's good, but Habibi just seems so off. He seemed off. Like I don't get Habibi. Man, I just don't. I ain't asked about him because I ain't understand none of that saying. I'm trying to get the man to say, Thomas said, can you just say I'm sorry?
I mean, he said he's manipulating,
He did not say I'm sorry. He got the saxophone. He did not say it. He did not say it. I'm sorry. He did not. No,
man. Well,
oh, God.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. They saw me and Kat cutting eyes at each other on the show. That was fun. I'm like, dang, Kat, like, you see that? I was like, yeah, they caught us red-handed. But it was a lot of funny moments that we really didn't catch in there. But yeah, I'm curious to see how they're gonna do it this week.
So speaking of you and Kat, why aren't y'all talking outside of this? It's the show.
I told y'all Kat Lee Aries, we talk every day.
No, I mean romantically.
We keep watching.
Okay.
Keep watching. So that's the thing.
I'm an ass. I'm here. I'm an ass.
So Kat's in charge of cleaning, Lee in charge of cooking. Aries in charge of cleaning clothes.
Okay.
So that's
okay. I got you.
They're gonna be mad at me when
they are gonna be so irritated.
I love y'all.
I'm going to show it.
I love y'all.
I had nothing to do with it. I didn't ask him to say that. That's him.
They gonna be mad.
Oh my God, guys, this was a great interview.
Yes.
I was mad at Chris. He's all right now. I know y'all gonna probably not like the things that was said, but y'all gonna be all right too. This is Kamisha Reviews, exclusive, in-person interview. Ready to Love Dallas.
I love it. Hit that like and subscribe button.